you got CDs, right? But then you got wax. When I say wax, those are records, man. That's what's in your uncle's garage, tucked away. You know what I mean? Maybe like 4,000 albums in somebody's garage right now. And they don't know what to do with them. But shit, all this warehouse space, dog, I get a nigga record collection and go crazy because I actually come from wax. Like any DJ who may come into the game now, starting from Serato or CDs and never really touched turntables, that's like, I don't want to sound like no old man or nothing, but dude, that shit is like that ain't it, man. Like you just there to keep the party live. Yeah, you're just the DJ. But when it comes to DJing, like the art of DJing, oh come on, man. You got to understand buying the right turntables. You know what I mean? You can buy any CDJ, no matter how heavy or how light your hand is, your scratch is gonna come out excellent, like you just really Mr. Chop Master. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, but with wax, which is where, you know, the real DJing come from, like, it's so many steps, man. You have to make sure your records wasn't warped, so you make sure they all sitting straight up, not laying on top of each other because they're warped when the heat hit it. That's one. Buying the right turntable, which got to be a direct drive, a strong motor. That way when you let the record off, it don't just drag off. It got to be a motor that can hold that torque. You know, a strong motor. When it's turning and when you're scratching, you don't want it to slow the motor down. So you want it to, the motor continue to spin. So boom, you got to have a turntable with a strong motor, which Techniques ruled that. Then you had JCPenney had MCS, which was a knockoff of Panasonic doing some underhanded shit. You know? Yeah, I might be telling a little too much, but you know, MCS and Techniques, they was all made by the same Panasonic. But MCS was a division of JCPenney. So I had one MCS turntable and one Techniques turntable, which both are made by Panasonic. So, you know, everybody, a lot of people start off with mismatched turntable because you couldn't afford to get two of the same turntables.
Yeah.
One used to have a belt drive and a direct drive. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it was crazy. Like we were really trying to figure that shit out back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, I mean, Cool Herc and Flash and them, that was the 70s, but I didn't come in until 82. You know what I mean? I'm 40 years old, so you know, this is 2010. All right, so it's like, how can I explain it? So, boom, having the right turntables, keeping your records in order, wax, because it can get scratched up. You couldn't just go duplicate that CD or, I mean, that record like you could do a CD. So you had to take care of your records. Every DJ used to treat his records like babies. You used to cover the label up. You might be playing something exclusive that you don't want everybody to know. You want to be the only one with that hot record with Planet Rock or whatever, Electric Kingdom, for about a good month before everybody know what it is. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, people used to run up to the booth like, damn, man, what's that? Be like, nah, just a little something I got from New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy, but nah, but really, so what I'm saying is, from the 2010 DJ back to the old school DJ, 70s, 80s, all the way up to now, like the true art of hip hop DJing. You know what I mean? The true art of DJing. Boom. Once again, I don't want to keep stopping myself because every time I get started, having the right turntables, keeping your records in order. You got to be light-handed. You got to adjust your needles. You got to adjust the height of the turntable. I mean, by this time, of course, I'm speaking on the the 1200, which is the epitome of Techniques turntables, you know, with the weight and stuff. Everybody first saw them on the Malcolm McLaren album cover back in the days. I know I'm going back. But anyway, turntables. Man, we used to have to carry our speakers. We used to have to carry crates of records. Of course, okay, I understand the physical part of carrying records. We don't want to do that anymore. But just DJing alone, man, and dropping that needle, man, I can never get away from that. Just being on the CDJ, that's for studio work sometimes, you know what I mean? But if you DJing a party, if you see me DJing a party, I'm going to be dropping needles, whether it's Serato or whatever. But then at the same time, you might see me throw some wax in too. So, I mean, I pay somebody to carry at least about 400 singles or whatever for me, you know. Of course, I have flight cases or whatever of wax. But if I got Serato, I'm still going to be bringing some wax in town, too. Cause it's just a certain feel, man. It's the way it feels when you scratch. You know, shit. Cubert was telling. I saw Cubert on the internet. Shout out to Cubert, my dude. I was out there kicking it with him recently. But even, you know, we was speaking on the difference in, you know, the software version of DJing and the hardware, which we speaking of wax. But I mean, you know, I respect the DJs out here. You know, a lot of cats call themselves DJs just because they know how to talk on the mic. Well, I talk on the mic, and I get down. You know what I mean? And I can read the crowd. So those are the three things. But right now, I just, you know, when I see cats and I hear them scratching, I'm hearing them like chopping it up. But I'm like, anybody can do that on a CD, and you know the needle's not gonna skip. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know the motor's not gonna drag. Like you're like not really DJing, man. You playing with a toy. You're not DJing. You playing with this toy. That's what you're doing when you scratching, mixing and everything. It's still the art to mixing because you got to have rhythm. I respect that 100. But when you get into scratching and trying to do the things that me, Cubert, and the rest of the bands like Jazz, Jeff, Cash Money, and Bob, and the rest of them, when you start trying to do that and mimic what we do, and we put you on wax and you can't do the same thing, that just shows and proves it all. You know what I mean? You've been exposed at that point. So, I mean, like I say, shout out goes to all the DJs. But I just had to take y'all back a little bit, man. I guess y'all see the grades of my beard. OG, man. What is it? 2010, Tuesday, 6/22. Holla at your boy, 10:21 p.m. Matter of fact, Young Reed, The Regeneration, definitely check that out. We putting the CD together, on the way, real soon. End Zone Entertainment, Zone Boy. Shout out to everybody, man, the Blackberry Boys and the rest of the squad, you know. Coming from your boy, DJ Toomp, once again. We in here banging it out. Look out for that T.I., that Rick Ross, that Kanye, Jeezy. That's crazy. Oh, man, some surprises on that album. I can't talk too much right now. Anyway, man, y'all know I can get started. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all boys later, man. Let me get back.